What's going on, everybody? BobbyFi, Eric Sheets. We're going to be talking through this week's Farmer Insurance Open. It starts on Wednesday, so just make sure that you have that noted because I didn't even realize that until today.
Yeah.
So it's probably important to make sure you know when you're playing. But look, before I get to Sheets' overall stuff, and then we get into the different tiers. My take is that, from everything I've heard and read and about this is, you're talking about a high variance course where you have the widest range of players who have performed really, really well here and then continually miss the cut. Jason Day being a great example, who seems to always top five or miss the cut. So there's a lot of stuff like that. That's sort of, and it feels high variance. And a lot of names that I ended up coming across, a lot of guys who I know, shout out to Rick, who I know Rick likes, you're talking about some extremely low ownership and some really good opportunities to take some gambles on some lower owned guys. So that's sort of where I was at in terms of my overall thoughts. How about you, Sheets? Anything before we jump into the tiers?
Perfectly honest, I just ran projections and ran some lineups and just kind of flying a little bit blind here. I didn't do like complete research yet because I didn't think it was tomorrow either. I'm going to do a little bit more work on it a little bit later. But I did put up a preliminary set of sheets, right? And I'm just I'm even behind you. I didn't even look at Rick's stuff yet. So I'm just gonna participate with just who I got along the way, and we'll just see.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do it. Do you want to pull yours? I have this whole thing set up here at my new house, but I don't have my new screen yet, so I've got to find some time to go get that new screen because it's kind of hard with the laptop.
Oh, so you want me to share? Okay.
If you don't mind, I'm happy to if you don't want to, but
no, it's fine. If you said you don't have it up. Okay.
All right. So we have the just 5 players in the 10 or 4 players in the 10K range, excuse me. And I think that look, I guess I'll usually let you start these, but my favorite is the guy at the top is Oberg. I know he's the favorite here. I don't mind eating some of that chalk. I think Oberg is going to have a tremendous year, and I kind of want to be over the field in general on him as much as possible. I have it ranked Oberg, Im, Matsuyama, Finau, but I think you could make an argument for Finau. He's had some good results here as well in the past. He just hasn't been in good form recently. What are you seeing here, Sheets?
Yeah, I'm getting exposure to all 4 of these guys. I actually have Im as the highest.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that think that people are not going to play him because he missed the cut last week, that doesn't really work that way.
Yeah,
he's cheaper than these others, and he was wildly owned last week for a reason. So he's going to be very popular, I think. Nonetheless, I do have him as the highest, and then I have Hideki. I mean, those I actually have, according to my run right now, it's just the 2 highest owned golfers. I mean, Im and Matsuyama, and then Aberg is like 4th. So it's very, very top heavy. All these guys, and I have Finau a little bit less, so about 18% I have.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes a lot of sense, but it's still going to be ahead of the field. I don't think Finau is going to get played much because of the price tier and how he's been lately. So if you're looking for one to get different on, I think he'd be the one guy. What are you finding in the 9K range? Because I'm sort of getting a pretty balanced exposure between most of these guys, with the exception of one Max Gracerman. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going back to the Gracerman, same as last week. I think it was one of my highest leverage plays. He did all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting back to that. Looking at Keegan Bradley, I'm not really seeing, at least my initial exposures are getting too high on him. Zalatoris, I feel as I should have more, but I'm not, and this is what it is. You can't play everything. You can't have like your top exposed guys being the 10K guys and having a lot of ownership in the 9Ks. That's the way it goes.
Right.
Thigala, I have a decent amount of him though, and that's it. Like I really have very little of Day, Lowry, Zalatoris, and Bradley.
Yeah, I'm over on Day as well, but I'm myself. But I'm also like, I'm sort of just spread out a little bit in this range, and everybody's sort of in the teens ownership wise for me, except for Gracerman at the moment. Zalatoris and Day are 2 I could probably talk myself into a little bit more. Day looked great, last week, and also he does have like one of the better histories here, even though it's also comes with a million miscuts in there as well. So it's a little weird. All right, down in the 8K range, there's a guy who I'm taking a big stand on this week, and I'm curious. I don't know if you're going to be able to guess who that is, but you probably would if you really thought about it. But what are you finding in the 8K range, and then I'll go through my guys.
I mean, top projected guy. I mean, relative to his price is Taylor Pendrith. He's going to be the most popular of all of them, I imagine.
Yep.
Next highest as far as projection goes, is relative to his price. I'm getting Ben Griffin, and then Kurt Kitayama is the next, and they all rate pretty well. Now let me see what I actually get after running it, because it's sometimes a little bit different. Yeah, I actually am getting like a full 20% of both Griffin and Taylor Pendrith. So that's where I am. Who's your hoodoo here?
It's Max Homa.
Oh, look at that! He's playing again, huh?
I'm throwing out the year last year, and he's 1 year.
Throwing out the whole year. Okay.
Yeah, he's 1 year before. He spent a lot of time. He's one of the few guys I really like him, so I follow him on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah,
and all
he's a good follow, actually.
Yeah, he is. He's a good, and he's funny. But I think this is a good spot for him, and I was glad to hear when I listened to Rick's thing earlier. That was somebody he was high on as well. I don't know. I haven't listened to the most recent Rick one, which is probably going on right now. But I actually really do like the Homa idea, and his ownership, somewhere sub 10%. I think getting, I have over 20. I have like 24% of them right now. So he's my favorite in this range. I also like Aaron Rye because he's getting overlooked this week. I like Luke Clanton because no one wants to go back to him because of one bad week. I just want to be ahead on this kid anyway. Like if he had a good week last week, he probably ends up like 15% owned. Instead, he's going to be like 5, maybe even lower. I think that's the way I want to go. But again, getting exposure to most everybody in the range, but those are the ones that I'm the most overweight on at the moment.
Sorry, I'll figure out where that's coming from my computer in a second.
Oh no, I didn't even notice. The other, I missed the guy at the very bottom of the range. Bo Hostler's the other one I'm well over the field on, 18% versus 10% projected, I guess. All right. Down in the 75 to 7,900 range. I'm playing a guy who's just not projecting well, but not looking like he's going to get ownership. I think the ownership's going to be wrong on him, but we'll see. Sheets, who do you like down here? And then I'll jump into
75 to 79?
75, 79.
Yeah, so my top guy is JJ Spawn. I don't think 11% is accurate. I think people are going to play him higher.
Yep.
And then after that, I got a couple of hoodoos here. So I got some Sam Stevens, Matt Wallace. See, this is what happens when you play 10Ks. You get 7Ks, right? Mm-hmm. Back to the Hui again. And here's a guy I've never heard of. How about Niklas Norgaard Moller? So that'll be a hoodoo guy. So for me, the kind of hipster chalky play that we don't think is gonna be chalky, JJ Spawn. And then, Eric with a C. Cole I haven't played in a while. Yeah. That's what's cool about having like a lot of these 10Ks. You get a lot of spread out 7Ks here. So, I guess Spawn looks the best, but he's going to get played.
Yeah, I think he's going to get played more too, but I have 21% of him right now.
Yeah, so pretty much exactly what I have, actually.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people picking Dietrich to have like a big week, and I actually like that because he's going to be again very low owned. So I'm well ahead on Dietrich at like 15%. Again, he's probably going to be 6 or 7%. I like Austin Eckroat here, and I feel like another one that people are going to maybe react to quickly. I want to be another guy I just want to be ahead on in general going into this year. And then the other one is my highest owned, my second highest owned in the range behind JJ Spawn is the Norgaard Muller.
There it is, huh?
Yeah, so I'm in on that. The only thing I worry about is that I guess he's traveling. He just traveled back from Abu Dhabi, so it's a little bit of a tricky. Man, that's like it's not much of a break either because it's a Wednesday start. So that's the only thing I'm worried about with him. But I do like that, and I've heard a lot of good things. So that's sort of where I ended up. All right, and then under the 75, so 7K to 7,400.
Well, I'm just trying to build like kind of a core here. So if I play 2 of these 7s, who is my favorite from the 8K? We'll get back to this in a minute, but Griffin, I guess. So yeah, you can play all this. Okay. 7,300 and below. I gotta remember who that is.
Yeah, I had 7K to 7,400.
Yeah, so Johnny Vegas 7,400 and Sam Stevens. Those would be the top 2, and then the next 2 I have would be Rico Hui and Michael Kim. Like none of them look like they're going to be that chalky. I mean, listen, maybe Vegas. Oh, I mentioned Eric Cole before, right? So Vegas, Cole, Stevens would be my top 3.
Yeah, this is a range where I don't have a ton of ownership in anybody. The ones who I'm double digits on are Frankie Sappin, again, going right back to him again,
Okay.
and Eric Cole with a C, as you mentioned, and then just underneath on Vegas. But if there was like a bold take to have in this range, or maybe somebody worth gambling on, why? He's played here more than most of these guys have. Maybe Gary Woodland, I end up getting to it a little bit more than I have right now. He was just one I was considering, but mostly other than that, I'm not getting double digits of almost anybody in this range. So I think it's sort of the forgotten range on the slate, at least for me. Yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now.
You get more than 10% of anybody under 7K? Probably not, right?
I have 10% of Joseph Bramlett, another just betting on a breakout season type of deal.
Okay.
I have, other than that, I've got 6% Matty Schmidt. Nobody else of any real significance. I have a bunch of guys at like 1 or 2%, but nothing really that I have a huge take on other than those guys. And I like to force these guys in a little bit. If there was another one I would take a stand on, it would have been Matty Schmidt followed by Joel Dahman. Pearson Coody is one that other people were talking about, but he's actually like the one guy in this range who might get some ownership. Another one, though, to maybe get ahead of the field in general, just again, betting on a bright future kid. But mostly it's going to be the just under 7K. Just the Bramlett is significant ownership for me. So you don't have anybody.
I can't get to anything under 7K. I have a bunch of these 7K flat guys.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, 6%. This guy's got to be under 7K. Let's see. Ready?
Yeah.
Who is? I got a who is for. Oh, he's 7K. R. Gerard at 7K. I have like
okay. I did not
6% of him. Philip. Oh, who that Phillips? Who's this guy? Captain Phillips. There it is.
Chandler Phillips.
Captain Phillips at 6,900 with the mustache.
Okay. Yeah. I'm good with that one.
5%.
That's what I've got 5% of as well.
This is the little. What's the word I'm looking for? A little insulting here. I have Cam Phillips just owned a little bit higher than Max Homa.
Well, but no, it's fair enough, and I get the people fading Homa, but I one of the things I love to try to do with golf and with all the sports in general is just to try to avoid perception versus actually what's happening, and that seems like a good one.
Shout out to Rick, by the way, because his site is really dedicated to that. It's just completely like numbers based, and like don't believe believe the numbers, don't believe your eyes.
Right. And I'm okay with doing that this week. So with that said, I think we got to play the game here.
Yeah. All
right, Cheats, you go first. Who's gonna win this tournament?
Well, coming off the missed cut, we'll go Sungjae.
Okay, Sungjae. I am going to say Oberg.
Okay.
All right, under 10K.
To go top 5.
Top 5.
I'm gonna throw one in that again, he could miss the cut too. So I'm gonna go with Sahith Theegala.
Okay.
To go top 5.
I like that idea. You've got Theegala. I'll take Gracerman. Take the chalk a little bit. All right, I'll just do my under 9K guy to top 10 because we already know who it is, and it's Max Homa.
And I will again reinforce, how much I like this play. I'll have the Ben Griffin.
All right, I like the Ben Griffin too.
I mean, it's sort of ridiculous though. I mean, Homa could, Homa could win.
Yeah, that's very, very, very possibly could win. It wouldn't surprise me.
All right. Under 7K to make top 20.
What? Oh no, we have the under 8K to top 20. Under 8K.
Sorry, under 8K top 20.
Yeah. Okay. There's the one I want to say, but we sort of talked about him already, so I'll mention the other guy that I like, and that I'll take a shot with. It should probably. I'll just take a shot with Austin Eckroat.
Yeah. I'm just not in the mood to come up with the chalk here. But you know what? I'll do one chalk. I'll go with JJ Small.
All right, I like that. And by the way, we could be wrong.
What?
He could end up not being chalk. It was weird. He played great 2 weeks ago and then was completely unknown last week. Played great again. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he slips through.
Plays really well, as like to say when I don't have him.
Yeah.
How about under 7K to make the cut?
This is not a cut making type of play that I should pick because I'm going to take a guy who I think can finish the highest of these guys. I'm going to take a gamble with the Joseph Bramlett here.
I'm going to go back to the guy who was kind of famous for a couple of weeks. I'll go with Matthew McCarty.
Okay.
A couple of weeks of amateur fame.
All right. There we go.
He won the Black Desert.
Okay. I didn't even know about that. Yeah, I guess I had 2% of them there.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our little.
No.
Oh, what we got over 9K to miss the cut.
Over 9K to miss the cut.
Oof. Keegan Bradley.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to go with I'm going to remind myself of something you said. Like Jason Day, he makes top fives and he also makes X's. So I'm going to go. I'll say Jason Day misses the cut.
All right, sounds good. That makes it's one or the other, right? It's top five or miss the cut. So you have to do it. All right, guys, great. I'll be posting my exact exposures, core plays, and all that stuff for golf, as well as any bets that I think make some sense. I did look at the betting board a little bit this week. So
when does this start during the day? So it's 11:30. I'm going to put up another set of projections later tonight. Probably I'll do another one tomorrow morning.
Awesome. All right, man. That's great. All right, guys. Good luck to everybody. And I just want to encourage one last thing about our site. Like, first of all, check out the sample of the Ultimate Pack. It's $10.99 right now for 3 days. A lot of people have converted over from it because it's really cool. But I really want to encourage, like, it's harder in basketball to use Sheets and Goldie's projections because it's hard to keep up with all the injury stuff that happens after lock and all those things. But for sports like golf and football, I found it incredibly helpful to use your guys' projections and even average it with SaberSim projections where I think that there might be like a gap. And obviously I did some of that this last week, and I really would encourage people who are using the True DFS project through SaberSim to import Sheets' projections. The other thing is you could leave up if you think the SaberSim ownership looks better, then you can leave the SaberSim ownership and you change Sheets' projection, or you can use Sheets' ownership any which way, and it's a way to differentiate from even just other people using SaberSim. So I really want to encourage people to take a look at that. All right. Oh, Joanne's out of the hospital. That's great to hear, Joanne. Hopefully things are going better. And hopefully we'll be seeing more of you, Joanne. I'm really glad you're getting out. So good luck with everything, and we'll see you guys shortly.